Well, fossil fuels and energy always seem to be in the forefront of current events and discussions. And biosystems engineers have had a big part in addressing some of the challenges that we have in society with replacing fossil fuels, coming up with alternative energy sources. And we've done a lot in terms of developing new alternative energy sources like butanol and ethanol and biodiesel, and coming up with ways to produce those fuels more efficiently and cleaner and make them cost effective and so forth. But one of the things we have to think about when we develop these alternative fuels is, will they work? What happens when I stick them into an engine? And so this is one of the activities and one of the pieces of equipment that we use in our classes. Our students get a chance to get their hands on this engine, this experimental engine, and we put different fuels in this. And the cool thing is that this engine then is connected to a dynamometer back there which measures the output of that engine. So I can tell how much power that engine is producing, how it's performing, and I also know something about how much fuel is going into that engine. And one of the experiments we do, believe it or not, is we get down to the grocery store and we buy cooking oil. Just plain old off-the-shelf cooking oil, and we pour that cooking oil in this engine. And you think, wow, is that going to even work? And that's one of the first questions you have to ask, and one of the things that we help our engineering students, our biosystems engineering students, understand is, how do I ask the right questions to know how things are going to work? Will it even run? And the answer is, this cooking oil, yeah, it runs. You can put it in the engine and it'll run. It smells funny. The exhaust smells a little bit like French fries, and it's kind of crazy, but it runs. But then we also try to figure out, what other questions do we need to ask? How good does it run? How much power does it produce? How is it's going to burn? Is it going to burn well? What happens in cold weather? So some of those kind of questions. So we learn all those questions. We learn how to ask those questions. And then when we can get our hands on this equipment, we can do real world experiments. So we see it run, we see it work. And we not only learn about the technology, but we learn how to collect data, how to use instruments properly to make sure that we get the right kind of data, how to take that data and analyze it, how to get the right information out of it, make the right decisions. We learn how to communicate that. So even if you've got the right answer, if you can't explain it to anybody, that answer isn't any good. So we have to learn how to communicate all that information and analyze it and so forth. And then the next step is where we challenge our students going out of here is, what is your next engineering step? What do I have to do? What's the next problem that I need to solve? So we're trying to prepare our biosystems engineers as they go out of here to have the tools that they need, to have the excitement, to have the understanding of the industry, to know where they're going and how to become a better engineer.